Welcome back to GBGuns Armory, the series in which we're going over stuff already reviewed in full over on the main channel and oftentimes over on the website, gbgunsdepot.com. If you want full review stuff, that's where that will be. This is the thoughts and feels section. This is stuff that's been out for a while. It's no longer cutting edge. We're not watching the video to learn the gun exists. We're now kind of reflecting back on it now that it's been out for a while. And today is the Hellcat Pro. As strongly as many people feel about Springfield Armory, HS Produkt, the people who actually make this, make a pretty good gun. And when the Hellcat Pro came out, I kind of didn't want to do it because I was tired of all the hate comments that I get every time I do a Springfield. But I've spent a decent amount of time in Croatia, like their coastline, which is most of the country, and realized that HS Produkt has nothing to do with the politics of their importer, Springfield Armory. So, objectively, let's review the gun for the gun's sake. With the Hellcat, which came out in response to the SIG 365, we were introduced to this micro fissure texture, which does not feel abrasive at all, but gets grippy. It kind of holds you back, and I really like that. It can gum up and get dirty very rapidly, so it's something you may have to clean, but I liked that grip. With the Pro, we went to the 3.7-inch barrel, giving us longer sight radius if you're using irons. It is optics ready, of course. Also giving us a little bit slower slide movement for better recoil control, and we're getting more energy. We're getting closer to what 9mm is meant for, and that is a 4-inch barrel. The trigger on these things, pretty good. The frame design, pretty good. The serrations work. It's all, I think, a pretty good gun. The only negatives I have are just kind of that stigma because of Springfield. But as a physical item, as a machine, as a handgun, I don't have any problems with it. The bucket and ball sights of the U in the back with the round front sight, I think are very intuitive and quick. I know some people don't like them. I didn't really have trouble with it. I think the closest I'd have to any trouble, sometimes it can be a little tough to make out the top edges of the sights, which are what I like to do to shoot a tight group. But this is not a target pistol, this is a defensive pistol of good size and weight. In hand, it feels a little bit heavier than 365 XL. I don't remember the specs off the top of my head to know if that's an actual fact. But extra weight does help soak recoil, and there's something to be said about knowing you have a gun on your hip or in your pants versus wondering if it's still there. I don't know if you guys have ever carried something so light that occasionally you panic and find yourself tapping to find it. So a little bit of heft, if I shift my weight while standing or something and I can feel it there, that to me is a little more reassuring than having to come with an excuse to randomly tap myself. I think this is a pretty good gun. I think it probably should be, or maybe is, more popular than we're feeling these days. We haven't heard much about them in quite some time. The potential certainly is there. Not something that I'd ever shy away from recommending to anyone, especially if they're looking for advice for a carry gun. And they haven't formed their own opinions. That also means that all the political stuff that people feel about the importer probably doesn't matter to them, or maybe shouldn't apply to them. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Are you capable of looking past the Springfield name to recognize the HS Produkt product? Or are you hardline on screw the Croats and screw these guys because you don't like Springfield for political reasons? These are the questions that I want to hear. I also want to hear your opinions on the Hellcat Pro. I think it's pretty good. If we could get a 4-incher, that would be ideal. Or, hey, maybe Springfield will finally take advantage of the Echelon's incredible potential for modularity and put something else out on that. That was a big disappointment for me at SHOT Show, and as time has gone on, that we've got the Echelon has potential to be so many different varieties. With its modularity, just like the SIG 365 and 320 setup, and yet there's, as far as I know, nothing out yet as of the time I'm recording this. Let me know what your thoughts are. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.